What's up, kinfolk? And one of the things that hopefully you're kind of exploring in your classroom this year is personal branding. Um, whether you as a teacher uh, looking at branding solutions for yourself or ensuring that your students have logos and brands that they can represent when they're turning their work in, when they're creating their multimedia assignments, things like that. Everybody should have a brand at this point. Something dope that they can throw on to their slide decks or to their movies or whatever else they're making in class. And it does not have to be like an uber difficult thing to deal with. Um, Branding is like important from a 21st century standpoint in that we are social media driven, we are visually driven. Um, Shout out to the Wu Tang. Um, Images last in people's minds, and showing students that the importance of logos and images, I think, is also important. So whether you're a first grade teacher, a kindergarten teacher, you're a fifth grader, you're a second grader, everyone should have something that visually represents them. We don't get to choose our names, but we do get to choose how we represent ourselves in the world. So we're going to deal with Adobe today. And if you're not familiar with Adobe Spark, get familiar. I know Canva is out there for teachers and things like that, but I think Adobe, first and foremost, when you think about design in the, the professional sense, Adobe is going to be a place that people go. A lot more powerful. It's also a better tool for your classroom in that um, Adobe Spark now has classroom rostering, so you can keep track of your students inside there. It also gives you the ability to, if you're using Canvas, there's a Canvas plugin in the free version of Adobe Spark, as long as it's done on a district level, gives you the ability to do a lot of the personal branding things I'm going to walk through. So this is my Creative Cloud account, but my day job also has this built in as well. And it's a tool that I think is indispensable to students and teachers at this point, given that it is a rather straightforward and linear product. And any student, given the proper instruction, will be able to duplicate exactly what I'm going to show you today. So, um, pretty easy workflow. The first thing when we start talking about just like the logistics of kids branding themselves, one of the things you might want to deal with is some brainstorming. Like, what are your favorite colors? What are animals that might represent you? What foods do you like? Doing things like that on Google Keep, if you're familiar with that, Jamboards, if you want to deal with that, Padlets, anything that you're going to allow kids to brainstorm collectively, you can do. Ensuring that students are, using school appropriate terms, right? We don't want to do anything that's offensive. Fox has a great video that I'll include with this video. Kind of walks through logos and the history of logos very, very quickly for students. They could be just text, they could be graphics and text, and just be a graphic. So giving kids kind of different styles and inspirations they might want to deal with. Also walking them through logos and brands that they might be familiar with. The Gucci logo, the Nike logo, Doritos, etc., and kind of looking at the differences between those things also work. But when we get to Adobe Spark, um, and this is going to be for your kids on the Chromebooks and on computers. iPad looks a little different. Process is a little different as well, but it's not that big of a leap. And you can also, if you use an iPad, use Keynote to kind of do a similar process. You're not going to have as many icons available to you in Keynote, unfortunately. But because the Noun project is integrated into Adobe Spark Post, another reason why you want to kind of go to the Adobe route, you're going to have a lot of those options built in there with less technical know-how, we'll say. A lot of this is possible in Keynote, but you have to be kind of a Keynote guru, Keynote ninja in order to deal with it. So once we get to our site here, I'm going to go here to the plus sign up here, and I'm just going to go to custom size graphic. And when I get here, it doesn't really matter. None of these choices really matter to me. I'm gonna go to social post and use Instagram because I like it. That's a perfect square, and then hit the next button. And when I get here, I'm going to have these options. It's going to be this white page here. It's really dope. And I'm going to have all this stuff on the right hand side of the screen, which I really enjoy because it's fun, 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 fun. All right, so here we go. We have all these templates and stuff, and I'm not going to start with those templates at all. But I hit that plus sign up at the very top, and you'll notice that the little shield that's there, those are premium templates. If you get the Adobe Spark School solution, what will happen is all that premium stuff becomes yours for free by default. Put that plus sign there. And I like to start with the icons because they're easy. And generally when we do this first in my class, it's your favorite animal. So I'm going to go and type dragon here. All right, great. And you're going to see all these nice, cool icons for dragons. I'm going to use that one because that's cool. Wonderful. And you're going to notice that I've got that in orange. I don't want that orange. I'm going to change the color. And I can change it to whatever color I would like. I'm going to make that kind of an off gray there. Great. So I have my dragon logo there. The next thing I'm going to add is some text. So that text sign. And you're going to notice there's tons of different ways you can add text. I love this one personally just because it's a circle. I'm just going to tag that around there. Drag that around very quickly so it works. Works. Yep, there we go. Bada bing. Double click. Fire tested. Let's say hoodlum approved. That's the brand. Bada bing. Now I can change that so the text styles and the font families are different. Maybe I want to do Babus. Yeah. I like that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Cool, cool, cool. Let's change the color. It's kind of a deep red there. Cool. Now what I'm going to do here, because I want that to be a little cool. I'm going to move that around. Excellent. Now, that's as quick as it gets. Icon, text around icon. Just use icons, gets you multiple icons, multiple pieces of text, whatever. It can be as clean or as complicated as possible. Doesn't matter because it's representing your kid. Doesn't matter because it's representing you. Now, people get feedback and say, hey, perhaps your your logo is a little too busy. It's too, I don't understand it, whatever. You might want to go back to the drawing board, but that's the fun of it, right? And kids could have multiple ideas for their brand or their logo and have multiple iterations of their brand or their logo. So I'm going to have that. I'm going to download this now. And I'm going to download it as a PNG file. Hit the start download. And I want that to be transparent in the back. So I can stick that on like a sticker. I don't want any of that background on there. Great. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to find a place, fire tested, to house my logo. I'm going to save that. Great. And my logo is there. You can't see it, but it's on my screen. Now, once we get here, if you have the premium option, you'll see where it says brands there. So hit that brands button. And these are all brands that I have from previous iterations. You can have as many brands as you would like. So one of the cool things to deal with is if you're doing research, kids have to create logos for the person they're researching or the company they're researching or the movement they're researching. Create a logo that fits the criteria that's necessary there. But the create brand deal button, when I do that, upload your logo, you'll notice that PNG is there. So we're going to hit that. And I'm going to type the word fire tested here. Not free tested, but fire tested. And that's that PNG. Hit the button. That's going to upload for me. Bada bing. Pick the colors. So right now the logo colors is analyzed those. Those are the colors. I'm going to keep that there. Cool. And you'll see that it automatically shifts those things there. It also previews what my logo is going to look like in all those things. I can always say, I want a custom font anytime I use my logo. So let's use something clean. Let's use Acumen. Yes, clean, that works. Hit the next button. Call it fire tested. And I'm gonna hit that. Wonderful. Take a little second. And bada bing. Now, if I want to ever change my colors, I can do that. If I want to add some more colors, if I want to add more logos in this same vein, I can do that when I want to. Change the fonts, add more fonts. But I have all this stuff that's already built. And as I use the product for web pages or videos or whatever, I'll have the option to have my logo included there. So this is how my logo is going to look on web pages. This is just my logo by itself there. On my stamp, my outro for my videos. You really have some dynamic applications for the logo without having students having to think about a lot of the technical aspects of it. It can just be the design portion here. And when they get older and when they deal with Illustrator and Photoshop and stuff like that, they can still do those things without the necessity to have students really spend a lot of time on the back end. And so it makes it really easy for any student, regardless of age, regardless of technical ability, to spin up a video very, very, very quickly. And that's why I really like it. I think it's an amazing product. And I think that this in and of itself is a great, it's just a great way to engage your students in the creation of just dopeness, man. Branding and logos, it's a 21st century. It is a 21st century skill. It's a 21st century necessity that you have a personal brand. And having kids put their brand on their work rather than just their name, I think is also powerful because this is something that you chose. This is something that you designed yourself. And it gives that that flex to the world that, hey, I'm pretty dope. And so are you. That's what we got for today. Be dope to other people, and go out there and change the world one little piece at a time. This is Mike Lang, one half the Intelligent Hoodlums. We'll holler when we holler.